Good way to start.
Zero, 0-1. Second serve.
What would you like to see from the team of Jansen and Schaefer? Wait till the end of this point, Marina, because I think they're probably considered the underdogs in this first matchup.
Side out.
Dominique needs to be ready for Lacey speeding up at
0-0-1.
Forehand off the bounce and backhand flick. So we'll see how well she can counter in this scenario. And otherwise, they probably need to target their dinks a little bit more to Samantha and look for Samantha in transition as well.
Second serve.
Parker unable to get on top of that one. Second serve on the way.
0-0-2.
Good job hanging in there defensively for the New York Hustlers.
Another thing Hustlers need to do is to keep an eye on how much court Lacey is taking. We've seen matches where Lacey is going for like 70% of the court, and of course the strategy is then to go behind her to open up Samantha. But sometimes she plays a little bit more even, more like a 60-40. So Hustlers just need to keep an eye on what Lacey is doing.
And Jansen will let that one go side out coming up here.
Here we go, squeeze right now, ladies.
0-0-1. Second serve.
Samantha looking to find her rhythm. Couple of good exchanges where she's in a position, mishits it just a little bit.
That one's going to be popped up from Schneemann. Orlando comes in 11 wins, 6 losses, 31 total points. New York, meanwhile, looking up at the rest of the Premier Division right now.
Second serve.
Hustlers not able to find their way to the kitchen just yet when they're serving.
0-0-2.
Both Lacey and Samantha kind of like power, so when they drive the third shot, it might be difficult for them to get in.
Point.
And the first point of the match for the Hustlers.
Helena gets them in with the drop.
1-0-2.
They're talking about the Hustlers with Leah Jansen and CJ Klinger of Columbus post-match interview, and just it's amazing how different this club looked a year ago. Jack Sock, a part of that team, with Klinger and Jansen. So many teams, though, changing the way they look from one year to the next.
Yeah, I think it was noticeable that different teams, different general managers have different draft philosophies and how much effort they wanted to put to keep their franchise players or just reload completely.
Point.
There you go.
1-1-2. Point.
So first lead of the day here for the Orlando Squeeze.
Right here.
2-1-2.
Good job by Schneemann retrieving that lob, but Parker can't finish it.
You're good, Sam. Keep going. Goes on here. You got this, Parker.
1-2-1.
Great try.
Point.
Both teams still feeling each other out, testing different things, taking notes on what's working.
2-2-1. Second serve.
Playing with the Vulcan ball, of course, here in New York.
2-2-2.
And we know, Arena, when
Point.
temperatures increase, that ball tends to soften up just a little bit, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and what that means for the players, that sometimes it might be a little bit more difficult to attack off the
3-2-2.
bounce in the kitchen because the ball is not going to come up as high, so you just have to wait for maybe out of the air attacks.
Schneemann goes up and gets it. Lacey Schneemann is just so darn athletic, isn't she?
She is getting some air on her overheads, absolutely.
2-3-1.
Oh, just a little bit too much on the lob.
I do like the determination by the Hustlers to keep lobbing.
3-3-1.
And now full attack mode from Samantha Parker.
Great work by the squeeze, keeping the pressure on. They got a little bit of help from the net court, but these are the
4-3-1.
type of points, if they can construct them more often.
And it's Parker
Point.
again. At a Grapevine, Texas, studied computer science
And New York
at
Hustlers
the University of
5-1.
Texas at Dallas. Best run so far from Orlando, and a timeout by the Hustlers.
Your best performance deserves the best gear. It's why we create our Zaya Active clothing to support your every move, whether you're snagging a PR or a catnap. Designed in Utah and loved everywhere, Zaya clothes are backed by a 1-year quality guarantee. Now's the perfect time to try Zaya.
As this match carries on, 6-3, squeeze over the Hustlers.
Point.
Sweet shirt Donald Young has on today.
You a big Metallica fan?
I
7-3-1.
like everything that's kind of bright colors.
Point.
Go.
Eight, 3-1. Point.
And the finish by Dominic Schaefer.
Might have gone wide.
Did just go wide, so another point.
9-3-1.
9-3, heads up Arena.
Second serve.
Lacey also
9-3-2.
had a career in science prior to pickleball, worked for Boeing.
Aerospace engineer. I think you got to be somewhat sharp to do that job.
You think?
3-9-1.
If I had to pick somebody, though, from the pickleball world to appear on the Ninja Warrior show, I think Lacey Schneemann would be my choice.
4-9-1.
I concur.
Not much she cannot do. Runs this one down.
Point.
And a missed dink after all that effort. Also saw Helena clocking a couple of high forehands over there. Defended by Squeeze, and yeah, just a little weird bounce, I think, got Lacey on the last one.
Well, showmanship from Schneemann.
5-9-1.
Parker. Miss swing there, so 9-6 now.
Orlando, 6-9-1.
I believe they're still fairly close to
6-9-1.
the top, with lots of matches to be played.
Paris Todd, also not too long ago a member of this Orlando Squeeze team.
Point.
You got it, squeeze. Let's go, Sam.
Well, net court action
Let's go, Lace.
goes in favor of the
7-9-1.
Hustlers. They're still on the first server, so yeah, the Squeeze might be feeling the pressure a little bit.
Second serve.
Great job, team. Yeah, one more stop right now.
Interesting choice by Dominique. I think she's confused herself. And probably I'm also expecting Lacey
7-9-2.
to look for some forehands in the middle to attack as well. She was doing that in the first half of the game fairly successfully.
Oh, well done by Dominic Schaefer.
Miscommunication in the middle for the Squeeze puts Lacey a little bit out of position, and yet Dominique finds a two-handed counter behind Lacey down the line.
And if you're asking how big would this leaves it open,
Second serve.
and Jansen, Fink, able to hit it right through it.
Yeah, Dink was on the line.
9-8-2.
And good slide to the left for Helena to finish out with that forehand. Certainly a shot that she favors.
Now, this is not the home facility of this New York Hustler squad. It belongs to Brooklyn, but you feel the crowd starting to get behind this New York squad, being that they are the more local group. See if they can deliver a victory here in game one.
I know, fans know what's up.
Oh,
Second serve.
that one was sitting pretty for Schaefer.
Yeah, that's definitely a good ball for Dominique to look and speed up.
8-9-2.
Just has to lean into it maybe a little bit more, maybe do a little flamingo.
Side out.
Ball called out by the Squeeze. New York thinking about challenging.
Maintaining your outcall. After review, the outcall stands. Loss of free challenge, 2 remaining. 3 free challenges remaining. Resume play at side out, 9-8-1. 9-8-1.
First serve here for Orlando.
Point.
Look how big that is. You come out of that timeout, breaks the action. Schaefer missed swings, and now you got game point.
10-8-1.
Yeah, Lacey going for her serves. Love to see that.
Second serve.
Nice reach by Helena. Keeps Squeeze in no man's land.
10-8-2.
Second game point here.
Side
Can't
out.
take advantage of it. The door is still open here for New York.
Yeah, a little tight there on the third. Have to regroup. Remind yourself to kind of stay low.
8-10-1.
Be aggressive with your feet because the time is now.
Easy pickings for Samantha Parker.
Of course, because Lacey did all the work setting up the put away for her. Nice job dictating the point with the dinks.
8-10-2. Side out.
Let's go, guys. Ready to squeeze? Let's go, Sam.
Hustlers come up a little bit
10-8-1.
short, and another game point.
Point.
And it's
Game,
just not
11-8,
there for the
11 Squeeze.
Hustlers. So New York keeps it close, but Orlando able to pull away.
They're also starting 1 point down because of the substitution rules. Let's see how things unfold.
Point.
So first point from Orlando. Great news for Forsythe on this stage, but the bad news, introduce you to Stakrsud and Frazier here. Just a dynamic men's team.
Point.
All right, Arena, put on your coaching hat here momentarily. If you were coaching Forsythe and Ford, what would you tell them? Get your take after this point.
I would tell them pick your spots wisely when you're speeding up at Dylan or Federico. Dylan has really, really good hands, and we also see they kind of know the scouting report, and we see Dylan holding ground, countering the speed ups ready to go. I would also make sure they have a good plan on who takes the third shots, and maybe talk about where to return for the other team. I would probably place most of my returns, make Dylan hit third shots.
So Eric Forsythe, the crowd getting behind him. New York gets on the board here. And Zane Ford, that one shanked off his paddle. The onside alternative rule, going over it quickly here. Penalized a point at the start of each game. The alternate plays. Coin toss also determining. Ford ripping. And New York now's got a deuce.
2-4-2. Point.
Excellent shake and bake by the Hustlers there. Zane using his single skills to set up Eric for the poach.
3-4-2.
Ford keeping it alive. Forsythe doing his best to defend. Great effort.
Good gets for the Hustlers, but still very close in the game.
How about Zane Ford coming right at you?
Fast hands battle.
4-3-2.
Zane Ford's going to increase his level of play because he knows the potential story of the guy next to him. Wants to make sure he gets the most out of this opportunity. And Arena, we've talked about big in this sport, Diescu and Jack Sock when you talk about large guys. But Eric Forsythe, man, he looks like an offensive lineman on the football field, doesn't he?
Point.
Yeah, impressive appearance. Couple of unforced errors here by the squeeze.
37 years old, a wife and 3 children.
4-4-2.
Might be a little trash talk building between Fed and Zane.
Stakrsud able to bring it down.
Yeah, the squeeze just has to be very disciplined. Try not to make any unforced errors on the third shots, and slow it down with dinks and just be ready to handle the chaos.
And the crowd being 100% in favor of the team in white. That's wide.
Second serve.
Quick speed up there from Eric. Takes the first opportunity, but I'm a big fan of the speed up so far. Nice and controlled pace.
Point.
That was a cool flick that Dylan used, the backhand counter of the body, but kind of relaxed his wrist and misdirected the ball.
Out.
Frazier can't get to that one. Side out, right back to the Hustlers.
4-5-1. Second serve.
Two-handed backhand just a bit off from Forsythe. Second serve on the way. Zane Ford, not one to back down from any challenges.
Side out.
Zane panicked a little bit there. Lobbing off the back foot. I think it was a little easy to,
5-4-1.
for the squeeze to read that shot. Overhead put away.
Right down the middle, Forsythe.
6-4-1 Orlando.
Welcome back here to Sport Time. Randall's Island 6-4 the score. Game number 2. Orlando a slight edge over the New York Hustlers. So Drew Felios, Serena Terashenko, and our tennis channel and pickleball crew with you here.
7-4-1.
Squeeze increasing that lead.
Second
Going
serve.
for the kill shot there, but second serve coming up short.
Yeah, Eric finds the right hip on Fed.
Oh, Zane Ford able to get the tag. And a side out.
Definitely mishit. That shot ends up going into Federico's head.
4-7-1.
Fed handling this like a champ, no reaction.
I did not see a sorry there.
Second serve.
In fact, he goes right back. Looked like for another.
Yeah, just chaos.
Zane Ford is not bashful.
4-7-2.
Guarantee you, Fed taking notice.
Well, it's easy game now for the squeeze. All you have to do is just duck. This guy is just like out of control. Corey
7-4-1.
also trying to help him settle down, the GM.
Yeah, Corey Ben Bassett, big part of this New York Hustlers team, keeping everybody on the same page.
7-4-2. Point.
That time got Ford a little bit off balance. Another point. And now Orlando has doubled the New York total.
Right out.
Eric Forsythe, the big let's go. Can they find it here, Arena? They
4-8-1.
certainly have got the crowd behind them.
The Hustlers are bringing the energy. They're firing on all cylinders.
Second serve.
But they're just facing a pretty solid team that handles pace well.
Right here, Zane, right go.
Handles pressure pretty well as well.
4-8-2.
So many weapons in the bag for Dylan Frazier.
Right out.
Good combo there. Federico anticipating the speed up from Dylan and extending his backhand counter in front nice and early. Another reset masterclass by Baby Dill.
You would think, Arena, that Fed and Dylan would constantly go after Forsythe, but instead playing for the New York Hustlers. So far, pretty decent showing, but trailing 9-4 to the Orlando Squeeze. And Federico Stakrsud and Dylan Frazier. ATP is perfect.
He's got trick shots. Perfectly executed around the post. Good recognition there.
4-9-1.
Dylan put a lot of spin on the dink, so you just got to let it go wide. It's the only shot that defies gravity in pickleball.
How about 2 in a row?
He's fired up. The crowd is fired up.
No, we've been talking a lot about classic sports
5-9-1.
movies. Got to reference Rocky. All you ever want is an opportunity.
Second serve.
I like that one. My least favorite is the Miracle.
Miracle,
Because I'm Russian.
Miracle on Ice, yeah, oh yeah, yep. Still a sore spot for that one. As Federico goes to town.
Finds a big target there, anticipating the slide.
So crowd certainly entertained by what we're seeing. See if the Hustlers can continue to stay in it. Oh, Zane Ford can't keep it alive.
Surgical precision for the squeeze, especially Federico dinking cross court nicely. They get a game point.
And finally, Federico Stakrsud has the final say. 11-5, Hustlers showed some fight. Lacey Schneemann and Federico Stakrsud serving. Here we go.
Point.
Orlando squeeze comes out hot out of the gate. Lots of energy from Federico. And because they started 1 point up due to the substitute rule, 2-0 on the 2 for the squeeze.
Side out.
A little ambitious there by Fed, but certainly in the budget. But he's sending a strong message from the very beginning of the match.
Point.
Overcooks the overhead. Hustlers on the board.
1-2-1.
And Forsythe does the same on the drive. Second serve on the way. Eric Forsythe having some moments in men's doubles. Going right at Stakrsud and Frazier. Oh, good defense there, but Schneemann eventually finishes it off in arena. If you're Forsythe, don't you just want to go out there, just settle down, play your best, give it your best shot, and have fun?
2-1-1.
I think he's living that. Top-rated performance in men's doubles. Let's see what kind of mixed skills he has. But he certainly is enjoying himself.
Well, guess who the first ever partner for Eric Forsythe was at a pro event? Guess who? Random guess.
3-1-1.
Dylan Frazier.
The great Anna Bright, mixed doubles. Talking there.
Oh, mixed doubles, yes.
Yep. I'm sure that would have been your next answer.
Obviously.
And that one just out. Pretty cool how one day you're playing with one player and eventually where that player winds up.
3-1-2.
Anna Bright, one of the true greats of the game.
Point.
We saw Federico earlier doing something similar, but this time he lets the ball bounce, which gives him a little bit better control at his speed up.
Side out. 1-4-1. Second serve.
Just a little bit long. Bring up a second serve here.
I like that. Eric was coming in hot.
1-4-2.
And that one high off the paddle. Lands out as well. So side out here back to Orlando.
Lacey pretty successful
4-1-1.
so far. Redirecting at Eric.
Short serve, second serve.
Missed serve there.
4-1-2. Side
And
out.
Stakrsud goes for it. 0 for 2 on the serves that time. Couple errors for the squeeze.
1-4-1.
A double fault.
Second serve.
Stakrsud on top of that one.
Yeah, great anticipation skills. Federico
1-4-2.
certainly knows where the ball is going to.
Point.
And Stakrsud knew he missed that time. So another point here for the Hustlers. Federico Stakrsud continuing to evolve as a doubles player in pickleball. Such a dominant
2-4-2.
singles run he had last year. Best male singles player in 2024.
Side out.
He's certainly a force to be reckoned with in singles, and I think he probably has a PPA title or 2 in doubles as well.
Yep.
And made some deep runs
4-2-1.
in mixed event before, all-around player. But started out as a singles specialist.
Point.
I know there's a lot of players out there like a Salome Davice, really single specialist, still, you know, wondering if that
5-2-1.
doubles game is ever going to work.
Yeah, she hasn't figured it out.
Oh,
Point.
Forsythe
Timeout change
served
in.
that on
6-1
a platter.
Orlando.
Just couldn't put it away. Saw Jack last year playing for the Hustlers in Central Park. Now suiting up for Phoenix this year.
Football. Right foot. Second serve.
Federico is a little bit off balance. He's getting some
6-2-2.
coaching tips from the stands on how to avoid foot faults in the future. Love it.
Point. After review, the alcohol stands. Loss of free challenge, 1 remaining. 3 free challenge remaining. Resume play at 7-2-2.
So close. I think
Time
the
in.
correct call was made,
7-2-2.
as our diagram shows right there. Oh, a little
Point.
help from the net cord. Stakrsud will score again.
8-2-2. Side out.
Federico a little bit unhappy with his decision making there. Seems like he changed his mind to go for
2-8-1.
two-handed. Usually he kind of uses his one-handed slice to hit third shots on the backhand side.
2-8-1.
Oh,
Second serve.
Schneemann goes right after Forsythe, says welcome to MLP.
That was a beautifully executed combo. A
2-8-2.
forehand misdirect behind Eric and then a slide to the right for the backhand counter. She knew what she was doing.
Point.
We're losing Federico here a little bit.
3-8-2. Side out.
Yeah, you can tell Orlando very focused. They knew what they were facing today and the potential of this crowd completely erupting on the side of New York. They did not want to give this New York team any momentum. Trying to squash that from the start. They've done a good job doing that. Good job running it down. Forsythe, though,
Second serve.
gonna not let that opportunity get away from him, and he'll enjoy the moment.
Fun point. Federico showing some wheels.
Point.
Lace, you know I love you.
Maybe just a little payback too to Schneemann after
9-3-2.
she kind of showed him up on that point before. Game within the game here.
Sometimes when you over celebrate, it takes, or just celebrate, it takes energy out of you, and then a little fluff for the Hustlers on the last two shots.
So this is game point here, 10-3. Hands battle, won by Forsythe.
Lacey tried to pull the same exact combo, and Eric was ready this time. He's like, fool me once.
3-10-1. Second serve. Three 10-2. Side out.
That 1 point took a lot out of the Hustlers.
10-3-1.
Still feeling the effects. And a game point. Or
second game point here for the squeeze.
Second
Stakrsud can't cash this one in.
10-3-2.
How about a lob? Schneemann, and now Forsythe follows it up.
Orlando was pressing hard because the Hustlers were unwinding the squeeze.
3-10-1.
But the lob changed the momentum of that point.
Forsythe on the run. Good get. Oh,
Second serve.
just a little bit deep. And now second serve. So the score, 3-10 still. New York
3-10-2.
trying to stay alive here. Second serve.
Point.
And they'll get another point. Eric Forsythe, the big man we saw, Arena, he's got some wheels. Was able to get there on that drop.
4-10-2. Side out.
Nice flick. Goes a little bit out, but even though Eric was speeding up from a tough position,
10-4-1.
he took a lot of pace off, so a little bit bad luck.
Second serve.
So the chances for Orlando mounting, just cannot
10-4-2.
seem to put New York away here in game 3.
Side
So
out.
it's another match point that the Hustlers are able to dodge.
Loving the fight from the Hustlers.
4-10-1. Point.
And Lacey can't put it over. Squeeze not panicking though.
Yeah, Helena's been on fire with her thirds and fifths, so
5-10-1.
maybe the squeeze changes it up, make Eric see a few more returns. Here it is.
No.
Second serve.
Elena Jansen-Fink, former Appalachian State
5-10-2.
tennis star. Mountaineers, part of the Sun Belt Conference. Another good get from Forsythe. They are running ragged here. The Hustlers defending all parts of the court.
Federico making sure that Eric gets as much action as he possibly can.
10-5-1.
Mad scramble there.
Second serve.
Let's see if New York can hold once again and get another side out.
10-5-2.
Tried to go
Point
for it,
game,
it's just
11-5,
wide.
Orlando.
And the squeeze will take care of business. 3-0. They'll take the match. The Brooklyn Pickleball team, so a good Brooklyn-New York rivalry we're going to see tomorrow in our final match of the event.
I think we can expect Zane to be very aggressive as always, and what Hustlers need to monitor is how aggressive Dylan is playing and how much court he's taken. Pretty sweet earning by Zane there off a cross-court deke.
1-0-1.
Zane was ready for the attack from Samantha.
2-0-1.
Finds a slide. Zane continues to go a little bit wild in points, but makes for exciting pickleball for the spectators.
One thing you love to see, Arena, win or lose, a guy that is dialed in from the start every time he takes the court. And you really feel that with Zane Ford, don't you?
Yeah, he definitely comes out with a lot of energy. I think managing that energy is something that he's probably working on. And again, it will come with experience and getting more reps and kind of understanding what is happening. But he definitely is ready when the match starts.
He is all business. No country club in this cat. There he is going to work. Comes up a little short, but a nice hands battle.
2-2-1. Second serve.
Nice return placement from the Hustlers in the middle there.
2-2-2.
Zane Ford on top of that one, side out now, coming the way of New York. Zane Ford teaming with Forsythe earlier in men's doubles. Dominic Schaefer, her and Helena Jansen had a good run in women's doubles, came up just short.
Nice drive there by Dominique. Jams Samantha a little bit, and Zane is pressuring. I think if I were the squeeze, I would probably place most of my returns to Zane.
There's Zane Ford now starting to heat up. I think for New York, this would be huge to just get a victory in a game under their belt.
Agreed. There goes the change-up on the return to Zane. And the reason we want to do that, if somebody's poaching aggressively off their partner's shot, you make them hit the third shot, and it's a little bit more challenging to go poach after your own shot.
How about the Ernie from Zane Ford?
Ernies are looking nice and clean this time. He Ernies off the down the line ball from Samantha.
5-2-2.
Tremendous get. And Frazier simply can't tee it up. So the New York Hustlers, impressive here. Brooklyn and our primetime showdown.
Side out.
So side out now for the Orlando Squeeze. Orlando trailing by 4. First time they have really trailed in this match.
Let's go.
Point.
And I think, as you mentioned, Orlando has a match a little bit later today, so it's pretty important for them to kind of
3-6-1.
find their game and stay in this match just so they can be ready for prime time.
Oh, Schaefer teeing it up. Yeah, you're right. Orlando's going to have their hands full with that Brooklyn pickleball team later.
3-6-2. Side out.
Good side out for the Hustlers. They still have the momentum,
6-3-1.
only allowing 1 point for the Squeeze.
So many storylines with that Brooklyn pickleball team. AJ Kohler holding up his end of the bargain as that super sub. Arena just continuing to blend into whatever environment he has been placed in here in MLP.
I'm in.
Game 4, New York Hustlers and Orlando Squeeze. Dominic Schaefer serving.
Point.
And New York is on the verge of at least taking a game here in a match that they have conceded.
8-3-1. Second serve.
Orlando looking to find their groove, but the pressure is on the Hustlers to close out the match. They put themselves in a great
8-3-2.
position. See if Zane is using his big serve,
Point.
gets them another point.
Nine, 3-2. Side out.
Taken care of by Dylan Frazier, and now another side out. So a hill to climb here for the Orlando Squeeze.
3-9-1.
Got to be a little bit of a different feel when you're the winning team and you got to come out for that game 4, play that extra game to have that same fire than if the game were on the line, the match were on the line. I know still the stakes are high with tiebreakers and stats and all that good stuff.
But sometimes, based on the player personality, it's not an option because they're hyper competitive, so it doesn't matter. They're going to come out firing.
Point.
This one wide as well. Another point here for New York. So game point now for Zane Ford and Dominic Schaefer.
Second serve.
Let's go,
10-3-2.
Dominic Schaefer able to find the corner.
11-3, New York.
And the New York Hustlers do it. They take their first game here at MLP New York. Welcome back here to MLP New York, presented by DoorDash. Orlando Squeeze take care of the New York Hustlers. But for the Hustlers, a very special day, especially for one of their players, Eric Forsythe, called into duty today representing the local pickleball scene here in New York. And it certainly lived up to the billing. Eric, welcome. Just tell us, coming to the park today, waking up out of bed and coming out onto the court, what did it feel like?
Last night I was like a kid on Christmas, tough time falling asleep. Got up nice and early, got here early, warmed up, and just try to make the best of my moment.
Eric, you're a school teacher. I know it's a summer break right now, but can you tell us, is there pickleball in your school? Do the kids play the sport?
Nope, no gym. curriculum for pickleball, but who knows? Maybe we can work on that.
And from what I understand, Eric, you spend, of course, your days at the school, and then it's right to the pickleball court. You're there pretty much the rest of the time until you're at home, from what I understand.
Yeah, I get my training in usually like 9 to 11 p.m., 8 to 10 p.m. Wake up early, go to the gym before school. Just try to grind as much as I can.
Can you take us back to that moment yesterday? A little bit of confusion on the court. Donald Young is injured. You have your number called. What is going through your mind at that particular time?
You know, it's a tall order to be called in 6-0 down and to warm up for about 2 minutes, but I tried to make the best of it. I think I showed out a little bit better today with a little bit of a better warm-up, but it was still a great opportunity.
Eric, what has been maybe your favorite moment so far, on and off the court in this Major League Pickleball experience?
I mean, I know a bunch of the players that are here, so it's great to see all the players and to hang out with them, and it's to be get called up to be part of a team is a big deal for me.
You've played a lot of great pickleball in the past. It's not like you're not used to playing with some pressure, but on this stage, did it almost feel like a little bit of a movie? I mean, I'm thinking of the movie The Rookie with the school teacher coming out and taking the mound in Major League Baseball. But for you, did you ever really feel like a day like this would come and the opportunity would come as you get older?
I just keep grinding, keep my head down, keep working, and hope that this opportunity would pop up, and sure enough, it did. So I was ready.
Your family also, I know your wife, Jean Marie, children, obviously great support system there. And also Corey, your GM, how much has he meant to your ascension in this sport?
I mean, I've known Corey for a few years now and always, try to be part of the Hustlers ecosystem, and to get called up by him was an honor and a privilege. So, just try to do my best.
Couple more here, playing against guys like Stakrsud and Dylan Frazier, a couple greats in the game. That's a tall order, but you did not back down from the start.
Yeah, I knew I had to come out firing 1 game to 11. It's kind of put up or shut up, and tried to show out as best I could.
Final question, New York Hustlers just moving forward. What are your goals here for this team as you have a big match tomorrow, the final match of the day against Brooklyn?
I think we're just going to go out there and try to give them hell and do our best and try to get some wins on the board.
Good stuff. Eric Forsythe, congratulations taking advantage of this opportunity. We look forward to seeing you down the line.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Eric Forsythe living his pickleball dream here at MLP New York Arena. Take one more break, come back here to New York in just a moment. Orlando over the Hustlers, and we are getting ready for our third match of the day. We will build that as soon as we return here to Randall's Island.